Hello, everyone. Thank you so much for joining. We are just waiting for 2 to 3 people more, and we would be starting shortly. Thank you so much for waiting. But at Pluto, we believe that all the marketeers out there are from Pluto, people who actually break through the orbit and do something creative and do not actually stick to the basic trends, to the basic norms and the stereotypes that are going on in the world. They use their creativity, they use what the world do not perceive as nice, but actually build out great things out of them. And here at Pluto, we are trying to empower those marketeers and build a circle, a community of these kind of people. And today, we are starting with a series of webinars and roundtables for all these kind of community members and CMOs out there in the country. And this is going to be the first ever webinar for the CMO's lens under the Marketeers of Pluto series. The topic for today will be focusing around SEO and how, AI is changing SEO and how the world is adapting SEO and marketing. And today we are going to see a lot of trends and lot of new things that are going in this world, not just in India, but around the globe in AI. And for that, we have our expert, Mr. Haneet Singh, who would be taking over to this webinar. Those who don't know about Mr. I'll give a brief introduction for him. So he's a serial entrepreneur and IIT alumnus with a history of building 5 companies from scratch and he is also the founder and the chief AI officer of Rabbit, a London-based company which is taking AI to next level. Thank you so much, sir, for coming today and taking the stage. I invite you here, and I also invite and gladly welcome everyone again. Thank you so much for joining. Over to you, sir.
Hey everyone, thank you Radhika. Thank you everyone for coming. Glad to see familiar faces. Hey Alok, glad to meet you again. Hey Amit, and yeah, glad to be back here into with the marketeers, with the CMOs. And I'll request if a lot of other people can switch on their videos, and we want it to be a very intellectual, intriguing communication. So maybe I'll wait for a few seconds before everybody switches on their videos. Yeah. Yeah, I guess just just yeah. I guess we can start off with a quick introduction of each attendee in the webinar. Maybe a quick one-line name, designation, company, and maybe in one line if the role. And then we can move on to the discussion, which is majorly around that how is AI transforming SEO? How is the whole content strategy game? How the past 15 years of history's rules are being written or rewritten in the age of AI. These are a couple of questions we're going to discuss. And just to give you a background, uh, I have been founder of Pluto. Pluto, we've been researching on this for almost 2 years. And I'm also the founder of Rabbit AI, and Pluto is an offshoot of Rabbit AI. And we've built a lot of AI models, industry agnostic wise, and Pluto is our marketing focused thing. And in past 2 years, and I also have an experience of running an agency for the past 10 years. So working with a lot of marketing use cases. So in past 2 years, what we have learned is mostly through empirical experiments because nobody knows, exact details of what is working and what is not working. So we have worked with a lot of industry use cases and we've gathered a lot of insights on what is working, what is not working, why a few things are acting certain in a certain manner, and what different kind of brands can do, should do. And that's where these webinars are also an initiative to combine these thoughts as well. So for everybody's reference, this is also be recorded and gonna be put live for everybody's insights. So our disclaimer and this thing also, because this will be going on public platforms, so you can share things by hiding the names if there is a concern of particular companies. But we want to keep it very, very powerful intellectual conversation that in terms of AI driven content optimization strategies, we'll be sharing a couple of our insights and we'll be expecting the same from you. And we've done past series of interactions with a lot of marketing heads, so there are a couple of FAQs which we generally encounter. So those kind of things also will cover in this session. So meanwhile, team brings up the PPT and all. I'll request if we can start with quick one-line introductions for everybody who's in the call, so that it makes easier for uh, us to move forward. Yeah, please. Maybe we start with the alphabet A, right? Alok, do the honors of going first, maybe, and then we can go in alphabetical order. Yeah.
We should
Sure.
have Avigna.
Yeah, go ahead, Abhigna. Please go ahead.
It's AB.
Oh,
Thank
lovely.
you. Hi, everyone. My name is Abhigna. I lead brand content, social media, and website experience at LTI Mindtree. Obviously, we have a lot of AI implementation, with marketing, and we also do a lot of AI-based marketing services for our customers as well. So, looking forward to seeing how Pluto AI can help add on and revolutionize our landscape.
Great. Hi, my name is
Thank
Alok.
you.
I head
Yeah.
marketing for HFCL Limited. This is, I have about 21 years experience in marketing. And of course, I'm really intrigued with the way marketing is evolving with the advent of AI and Gen AI particularly. There's a lot to learn. I'm looking forward to, of course, contributing and learning through this webinar.
Thank you, Alok. Thank you for joining.
First of all, Harneet, thank you so much for this wonderful ensemble.
Thank you, Alok.
You have this knack of calling good platforms with good people. Superb. So, guys, Amit Gujral this side. I have been helming CMO ship for LG for 16 donkey years. After that, I had CMO ship at JK Tire, and from couple of months, I am absolutely after 31 years of industry experience, trying to spoil some more brands and consulting them at no cost.
Lovely. Quick introduction.
As
Thank you,
simple as
Alok.
that.
Right. Where do we move next? Sanchit.
Yeah, hi Harneet. Thank you for this. So myself Sanchit, if, and I'm a founder of Fresh Feed, which is the first shoe tech company from India. And we already
Which
have
tech
some
company? Shoe
shoe
tech.
tech.
Okay.
So
And
we
what
are
that?
yeah, so we are already inventing few technologies we have invented where we have got the patent also into, another we are making with in India where we will be with the help of AI also there, because there we will be helping to reduce the footwear returns due to fitting by 90%, which is a major concern for the footwear industry. So we are making something which is totally out of the box.
Yeah.
Lovely.
Thank you.
Interesting. Fresh feed, right?
Yes.
Nice.
Even in
Nice.
UK also, I am going to have one patent very soon where we give two sizes in one shoe for the kids.
Lovely.
So in India
Very
we have the
unique.
patent, and in UK soon we are going to have it.
Interesting.
Thank you.
For Indian parents and Indian kids, size of shoe does not matter. There's only one utility, right? Typically, you have in the homes, you're gonna get beaten by that. So,
Not now today, because everybody is having one or two kids. So generally people care for their kids' feet and they want to give best to their kids. And
um,
definitely when you have two sizes, so now it will be more easier for them to go ahead with, especially when they're wearing like the casual shoes or party shoes. So child is hardly wearing it for few hours in a day, and after 4 5 months it is being discarded. So again, it's a sustainable technology, in fact, a green
lovely.
technology.
No, interesting, interesting.
Correct.
Thank you, Sanchit.
Thank you.
Sairam, please, if you can quickly introduce yourself as well. You're not audible. Is it for me or for everyone?
Yeah, he is not audible. Sairam is not audible.
Maybe we'll come back to you if you can rejoin and all. Maybe then we can go with the other people's introduction. Sharath, Rebi, if you can quickly introduce yourself.
Yeah, hi, I'm Sharath. I'm an MBA graduate and I'm currently working at Perfuse as a product marketing head. So looking
Lovely.
forward to the future.
Just before this, I was speaking with your VP marketing, I guess, Amit. I was speaking with him. He was speaking
Correct.
on, similar concept. Yeah, glad to have you here. Okay, he
Thank you.
only told you to join, is it?
Yep. He shared a
Okay.
link, so I was interested in watching.
Good. Yeah, we were just speaking, and he said my team would be willing to join. And Rebi, uh, quickly, if you can have your quick introductions. Meanwhile, Modit, you can bring up the screen. Hello, Modit. Uh, are you able to hear us, Rebi? We'll come back to him. Sairam, if you can, yeah. Can, are you still facing some issues, Sairam? Okay, maybe he comes back. We can start off the quick, the things about the session. So before starting off, uh, one thing which I say to a lot of people for the past 15 years, we marketing has a lot of angles, but I guess the first foundation is getting discovered. Discovery is one of the biggest views for anybody, right? If we start off with the times immemorial, uh, the discovery was only physical, right? There were connectors forward. With the internet world, things have become digital plus physical, where there's digital discovery, which becomes a big thing. And then I say there are two kinds of brands. One where discovery is happening digitally, but transaction is happening physically or in person, and other places where discovery is also happening digital and delivery is also happening digitally, right? So internet world created that two categories of brands. So what that signifies is whether a brand is selling digitally or selling physically, whether they have a product or service. Majorly, everybody needed to go digital because of the discovery angle. Delivery could be physical, delivery could be digital, but everybody needs to be there in a digital presence. And that's where we see the entire digital transformation revolution, which has gone on for the past 15, 20 years. And that's where we saw the emergence of search engines. And then coming back, when there are search engines, when there is any platform or tool, there's always an optimization for that. And eventually the discovery of SEO, search engine optimization, happened from there, as we all know. Of course, for the past 15 years, there have been a lot of white hat, gray hat, and black hat SEO strategies, which a lot of you might be aware of. Before just jumping a little bit deep into SEO and what has changed, if I can have a quick maybe raise of
Yeah.
hands, uh, how many of you are actually is SEO and digital presence KRA of your role or your extended team's role, and how many of you are very familiar and hands-on with SEO? If we can just have a quick show of hands, so that I know, the audience we're talking to.
While that is this clear now? Can you hear me?
Yeah, Sainam, you are audible
Okay,
now.
fine.
Yeah,
Thank you. Whenever you think it's appropriate, I can introduce, but please proceed with your thing.
sure. Thank you. So Alok, Abhign, I'm pronouncing your name correctly, right? It's Abhign.
Yes, Abhignya.
Abhinya. Okay. Yeah. So most of you are doing SEO, and remaining people, you're not. SEO is not part of the KRA in the marketing. Okay. Next question is content, right? The content generation for website, for your marketing campaigns and all. So these are the two areas and focus which we are going to discover today, that how the content generation, the content optimization, and content delivery is getting changed, and what are some of the best practices. And again, please feel free to jump in and share your insights. Once we share a couple of our insights by working with a lot of brands and why we have built Pluto, we'll cover that. So if we go next, so just go to the FAQs of the session, if before this. Yeah, the next slide. Yeah. So while working with a lot of brands, one of the biggest shift which all of you would have seen is traffic moving from search to chat. Yeah, how many of you are kind of facing this kind of thing where uh, a lot of entitlement is there, a lot of kind of initiative is there to rank yourself on engines which are other than search engines, which are today driving a lot of human conversations like ChatGPT, Meta's WhatsApp bot powered by Llama, and DeepSeek, Perplexity, all those areas. So just a quick again show of hands, how many of you are actually aware or keeping geo as part of your strategy in the past few months? Just a quick show of hands. Alok, Abhinya, Sairam. Sure. So, and that's again the second big focus. So, generative engine optimization is fundamentally very different from search engine optimization. There are some similarities. So, two, three big shifts which we have seen is earlier, if there is a brand where people are going and searching, Google will index you, Google will rank you. How that happens, you all know SEO, probably we can discuss it that in detail later. But a brand is getting indexed on Google and other search engines, and users are coming and they are directly going to the site through a keyword matching or a authority link building. People are discovering your site, and then everything else happens on your site most of the times. If you are doing a paid media also, then also you are ranking for certain keywords and people are landing onto your site or your product. Third case is where you are doing brand promotions and influencers. Again, through that influencers following, all that traffic is kind of coming to your site. So in all these three scenarios, scenario A, organic, scenario B, paid ads, scenario C, influencer marketing or any word of mouth, people, your potential audience are coming to your site, whether you are getting it through SEO, through paid ads, or through influencers and PR. Correct? And the traffic was a good enough metric for any brand to or any CMO to start the conversation forward. Because traffic is your top of the funnel. After traffic, you will have their interaction, their times, and then you will figure out what is MOFU and BOFU from that. But what if fundamentally, if your TOFU will become a vanity metric in the future? So what I intend to say with this, now most of the discovery, what we have seen is happening outside your branded content or outside your site, outside your asset. It's not that people are coming to your site and knowing good things about you or details about you. Most of that is shifting away from the channels owned by you. Somewhere that is affecting traffic. So traffic is kind of affected for a lot of brands, but there's also another channel which is coming up where the discovery about your brand, about your products, about your services is happening without people visiting your website, without people trying your product. That's happening in an elsewhere channel. That is one big trend and shift which we have seen a lot of people have echoed on that. So eventually, one of the insights which we have seen is a lot of traffic is moving away from your site and traffic becomes a vanity metric. Now, does that mean should we worry a lot about traffic? Should we do methods to increase the traffic on our site, or should we do something else? Any quick insights on this particular topic from the audience before we move forward? This is the first theme. The traffic dynamics are kind of jumbled. They have changed. That I guess all of us agree. But how, according to you, you are tackling that, and how such kind of problem? What is your thought process and approach to tackle this kind of problem? And this question is pretty relevant for digitally native brands, where a lot of discovery is happening. Of course, the biggest one being the e-commerce brands and the content brands. But even for other brands which have a lot of traffic, either paid one or free one, when that is shifting, how things can affect. Maybe if we can know the consequences and approach from the audience before moving forward on the first question. And despite they investing good amount of effort, time on their website, on their content, on their SEO strategy, and on even their paid ads, still traffic is falling. Any insights on that? How would you approach that problem?
I'll just go ahead. Go ahead, Alok. Yeah.
Okay, sure. Just very quickly, I just wanted to say, Harmeet, that although you and I we discussed about this, a couple of months ago, but ever since then and even before, what we've been trying to do is we've been trying to leverage the new approach that Google Search introduced in India, which is the AI overview. And thankfully in our industry, which is a B2B tech telecom industry, there are not many companies or brands who have probably invested in this journey. So we have been, in some sense, the first mover, and we've been able to see some good, results coming out of it. I think one of the strategies that we chose is to quickly make our content more conversational, and of course, invest, of course, on geo-related schemas on a website and stuff like that. But we also made sure that the quality of content, over a period of time improves and becomes very snackable, not just for consumers or not just for our traffic for the website visitors, but also targeted towards, of course, some of these LLM, tools that we have. So, that's one quick, approach that we took, and we've been seeing some good results on that.
Thanks for that, Alok. That really helps. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, first and foremost, apologies. I think there was some sound issues from my end. So my name is Sairam. I'm the Chief Marketing Officer for Coforge, the seventh largest IT services firm in India. We're a public limited firm, $1.5 billion plus in revenue, 34,000 employees. All that I'm going to talk here will be very personal, nothing to be attributed to Coforge. And when we do social media, please do not tag Coforge, just a request. But coming to the question, I think it's a very valid subject. So the perspectives that I would love to share, while I think even for an enterprise B2B tech brand like us, the content has to be conversational first now. It has to be LLM parsable. It has to be multi-modal LLM parsable in the sense of many engines that we coexist with. It's just not one engine. The third dimension is also resetting for example, one of the many large teams that I lead will be the digital marketing ops teams, right? So their KRAs and the visibility that you actually share in terms of the metrics that you measure now has to be reset. It's just not the same organic percentage growth. You have to first be cognizant of the fact that traffic is going to dip. The traffic is going to be diversified. The traffic is going to be split. So that part has to be, as a leader, first you need to understand the science of that, reset those metrics, and upwards to the CMO's office, you also need to educate and sort of present that so that people understand that the new sources of traffic are different, and obviously the outcomes accordingly. So this is the perspective I just wanted to share, and we are in that process getting in there. So it's a new normal now. We'll have to coexist and live with this.
Very interesting, Sairam, and I echo with a lot of that. So anybody else want to add to this topic? Okay, so I'll take it. So as Alok and Sairam mentioned, I guess this is the new normal where entire metrics have to be reset. So there's a lot of opportunity for the incumbents and challengers both. But again, the fundamentals are, fundamentals should be, I guess the time has come where we again move back to fundamentals and not just few defined metrics which have been ongoing for years. As Alok was saying, that conversational content which is very, very value adding, simple language. One of our observations is, although LLMs generate very AI content with heavy vocabulary and a lot of filler words and all that stuff, but typically what they are trained on is very human-like content, and they want to rank. When they rank content, they prefer human content and content which is more conversational, more simple to comprehend, right? That is one of the discoveries that's the irony, that AI does not like AI generated content, and that's how the algorithm is defined. Coming back, if traffic becomes a vanity metric, then what is the metric which brand should chase? Which is the question. What is the new normal, and how do we approach this entire marketing to sales funnel? Again, a relevant question to be asked. So in this session, we'll also bring out the right questions to be asked rather than just jumping to the answers, because answers can be very, very different and personalized for each brand. But at least the right questions to ponder upon, I believe, is what a brand owner or a leader's responsibility. That are they hitting their energies? Are they putting their resources at the right questions at the right time? Coming to next part, a lot of people ask, how can we optimize for discovery in ChatGPT or any other LLMs? Typically, Perplexity, ChatGPT and Google's Gemini, as well as Meta's WhatsApp bot, all of them combined for almost all of the chat market. And our estimate is right now there is 80-20 ratio. 80% traffic search, intent-wise search, commercial intent search is still happening on search engines, and 20% is getting routed via chat. But at the same time, the dynamics and the future perspective, they can come a time that in future the equation is entirely reversed, with 80-20 becoming 20-80 in next 3 to 5 years. That's also one of our estimations. So how do we get ready? How do we optimize our content teams and content strategy and digital marketing teams to be ready for tomorrow? Third question is, will search be relevant anymore? Again, we'll cover that as well. And fourth is, what are global brands doing right now with this kind of shift moving in? So combining best practices from a lot of brands like you and a couple of other brands. So this overall is the gist of the entire session and why we built this product of Pluto, which we're gonna show you, which is called as GeoMax. Shall we move to the product and move it to the next part? Meanwhile, so these are the questions we asked ourselves, and then we pondered upon. Yeah, you want to add anything, Saira? Okay, your hand was raised, so I thought. Okay, so these are the questions we pondered upon, and we tried to understand LLMs from very generic POV. And before we move on to how this product was created, we also just I'll also take a step back and tell you my particular background. So as I was telling that I've been pretty passionate about AI all my life. All the companies I have built are majorly tech companies across US, UK, and India. And we were working in AI much before Gen AI or ChatGPT was a hype. But yes, when those guys showed the world that this is possible, a new normal is coming. So we thought, what is something where we can add our own value and we can build a global product from India and we can actually add value to the entire ecosystem. And that's where we started working on IC Pluto, one of the marketing products of Rabbit AI. So for the past 15 years, everybody was spending a lot on SEO. There have been a lot of agencies. There have been tools like SEMrush and Ahrefs. Individually, their market cap is multi-billion dollars. I guess both of them do upwards of $1 billion in revenue just by giving a diagnostic tool of SEO. So we thought that, okay, if this is a market which is getting entirely shifted, what will be the future? Future will be a coexistence of SEO and geo. How do we track geo? So what if we first go to the geo dashboard? So we did our empirical research and we figured out there are few parameters on which geo depended a lot. So if we understand, I'll give an example of, let's say, dog food website. Okay, everybody is with me so far, right? So dog food website, let's say a Google or a generic Google algorithm is based on keyword matching and keyword search. And second, so if your keywords are matching, then probably you are relevant. And second metric they look at is credibility and authority. And a proxy for that is backlink. Of course, the SEO experts will kill me for simplifying this. But if I tell you, majorly in the Google world, it was more about keywords optimization and backlink building. And of course, the content is there, website optimization is there, but mota, it was about keyword and backlink, two things which majorly contributed to the entire ranking and all. Yeah. Maybe we can, some people can speak, and if you have questions, you can ask in between to make it more interactive rather than a monologue. I always love, being in a dialogue than in a monologue. So majorly, it was a function of two things, keywords and backlinks. And that's where you'll find most of your efforts, time, money, teams working on, correct? But LLMs are fundamentally different. LLMs are fundamentally different And our estimate is keywords and backlinks only contribute to 20 to 25% of weightage for LLMs. That means 75 to 80% of the game is elsewhere. Where is that game? What are those tricks and techniques? That's what we were trying to figure out. Yeah.
How did you arrive at this percentage, Aneet?
Yeah, I'll tell that. So basically, this is again observations and a lot of experiments, as I was said, that it is empirical experiment. We arrived at this percentage because yeah, I guess once I cover the geo components, we will have an answer to that.
Sure.
So yeah. So see, we understood what LLMs actually are, right? We took a step back. They are based on transformer architecture. In layman terms, basically, they are pattern identifying machines. Google is a keyword identifying machine. Google search engine was, or rather, they have also integrated AI mode. Barring that, the regular search technique was more of a keyword matching technique. One such example is if there's a dog food website, or I was giving this dog examples, you are telling about dogs. So for Google's keywords, normally dog and dogs are relevant keyword, are similar keywords, but dog and Labrador are entirely different entities. Dog and German Shepherd are entirely different entities. Fundamentally, that's how Google's basic search algorithm crawlers understood the terms and the context. So for them, dog and Labrador are very different things. Of course, through linking and all that stuff, they'll be able to put up a website which is writing about Labrador, but they will also have to tell dog and that kind of keyword. But fundamentally, with LLMs, large language models, they understand things in vector terms and not scalar terms. So vector terms means for an LLM, inherently dog and Labrador and German Shepherd and other breeds of dogs, they are one and the same thing. They know automatically that these things are related. This is the intelligence layer which has been added majorly in the AI. How that has happened, I can cover that in detail. I guess that will become very heavily technical. But in the simple terms, you think of it where the scalar search, the regular search is happening basis the keyword and alphabet and all this matching. Here, the LLM models basically convert all the terms into mathematical vectors in space. And if their meanings are similar, the vectors are closely oriented. They are together in the space. So think of it as a 3D space where the LLM models have put various terminologies, and the closer cluster ones are the ones which are very related, and the farther ones are separate. So LLM models understand the world by converting all the language into a 3D space, and there are various elements lying over there. Their closeness to each other tells the meaning and tells their relevance and relation. A complex term, I'm just trying to make it easy. So what that means is the fundamental understanding of LLMs is very different. They inherently understand dog and Labrador and German Shepherd, where Google will need to make it understand. So far, so good. If I'm going a little bit too technical, or if you're gonna stop or want me to elaborate on one particular thing, I'll be happy to do that, and any of you. So inherently, it's a vector search, which is the new thing, which was non-existent 3 years back, which has come up. So if we understand vector search, and the technical term for everything which I was explaining, that all this is in a 3D space, is called as embedding. So embeddings and vector search, these are the two ultimate technical terms. Beyond this, you don't need to know anything about LLMs in terms of search functionality. Sure, no worries. We'll try to cover it like that. Yeah. So, LLMs basically understand human language through vector search and embedding models. That's been the research, or 10 years research of OpenAI and all, and that's the new innovation. So now what that means is the content on your site is crawled and understood by these engines. If you know the fundamentals of transformer models and LLMs and how they function, you will be able to very well predict and design things as per them. And that's how we come up to that. Long story short, jumping gears, we analyzed that what matters for LLMs to rank, and we came up with these 5 parameters. I'll quickly explain these 5 parameters, what this means, right? So if Google was for these two keywords and backlinks, LLMs in the LLM and the AI world, these are the 5 parameters which matter the most in terms of they covering, ranking, indexing your content, and they making sense of a content. Okay. Number one is named entity score. So named entity represents how well your content includes and utilizes named entities like people, places, or terms similar to keywords in traditional SEO. Higher score indicates better alignment with user search queries based on NER signals. So the tool we have created, IC Pluto, we feel this is one of the very early tools which is able to diagnose a website's geo optimization for various LLM models. The first named entity score is similar to keywords. That means if your keywords are good and you have targeted right keywords for a particular niche, this score will be higher and you will have a high probability of getting ranked by LLMs appearing in AI search results. Okay. So for example, if you are a dog food site, how well you utilize all the famously used, commonly used terms, which through which people search for that particular topic. If you have all of them on your site, very well contextually linked, you get positive marks. So similar to keywords, but a little bit more, nuances to it. So far, so good. So named entity score is a particular blog, a particular article, your particular website page, how well you utilize the named entities which are there for your niche. And mind this, all these LLM models already understand named entities. So you just need to fit in those named entities in your site, unlike Google, which will discover. So if you talk of, let's say you are an IT services firm and you specifically focus on, let's say, .NET, Python, or some particular type of services and all. So these named entities, LLMs already know, and LLMs already know their pros and cons and all that stuff. Now, if your site is optimized for that, and you have a good context and depth, of course, along with authority. Context, depth, and authority matters a lot in the geo world. So your score automatically goes up in this scenario when you have good named entities on your site. Can we move to the next point? This is the number one parameter, which is an important parameter. If we go above, Modit, if you can also run the tool, we picked up a brand and we have picked up openly, we're not endorsed with this brand, just openly picked up Bajaj Alliance website and analyzed what their, this thing is there, all publicly available data, their homepage, their website. So we have support for Google Gemini. If you click on this, all the tools, we have Google Gemini support, Bing Copilot, Perplexity, Claude, and ChatGPT. We were building for DeepSeek as well. So these are the 5 tools. Basis these different algorithms, we have made the tool to understand how the content on their website or their homepage is optimized on these 5 parameters and hence optimized for geo appearance. So you can quickly run it for any of the tools, maybe for Gemini. Right? So it runs, right now it is running on their homepage. It can also run cumulatively on all the pages and finally give one snapshot score like this. How it comes, we can explain in the later part. Second component is cosine vicinity. Cosine vicinity is the toughest component to understand, but whatever I explained about embeddings and all, that is how that is, kind of attributed in this component. In simple terms, cosine vicinity is how semantically close your content is to user intent. And that LLMs automatically decide basis the content on your site. Definition wise, it is this. But if I tell you a very quick practical technique, this depends a lot on internal linking. So when Google was a lot about backlinks, I'll just come to you, Alok. Google was a lot about backlinks. LLMs are a lot about internal linking. One quick example over here, if you were a dog food site, and on your site, if you have different recommendations for different foods which consumers can buy, that's not only sufficient for LLMs and Geo. So but rather if you have a lot of content around what is good for Labrador, what is good for German Shepherd, what is good for this kind of breed and why, and what are the health reasons, and why, which are the authoritative researchers which are justifying what you are mentioning on the site. If you have that kind of rationale, content, and very well internally linked, maybe in a graph format, that when an AI agent crawls your site, when they land on your site, every named entity, everything which is in user query, if they can find a lot of detailed information and context about that query on your web page or multiple web pages of your own, and they don't have to leave your website, this score will be higher. That means your site will be very, very similar in vicinity to the user intent, and you will get ranked. So cosine vicinity, cosine is this cos theta wala, but vicinity is basically your site is near to user query. That's what LLMs will figure out. How they will figure out? Basis the content and context you have around the expert and subject topic you are putting on your site. So only content will not matter. A lot of context, a lot of FAQs, and very well internal linking is required for you to rank better on cosine vicinity and hence rank better for LLMs. One internal linking example. So we worked with a BFSI major brand very recently, and they had almost 2-3 lakh pages on their site. So they are a marketplace, BFSI insurance marketplace. They have more than 2 lakh pages on their site, and they were doing really well in the Google age. But with the LLM age, they were discovered at number 7, number 8 in ChatGPT or Meta. When people search for top 10 insurance providers, top 10 this provider, top 10 healthcare insurance providers, or bike insurance providers, whatever. At some places, they were not even coming up. Visibility was not there. And at some places, they were coming up, but the ranking was very low, although they were doing really well in Google. And one of the big reasons was their named entity score was higher, but their cosine vicinity was lower. And through empirical experiments, we figured that out, and then we applied a lot of strategies to do very good internal linking for them and eventually improve their score, which led to improving of their visibility across these queries. So this is component 2. Maybe we can take few questions before moving to remaining 3 components. Yeah, Alok, please, you raised a hand, sorry. Yeah.
I was just curious about this, the shelf life of anything that you change on cosine vicinity, particularly because nothing is permanent after all, right? I mean, if you use all the logics and of course, be visible, be ranking on the top results. But then if your competitors start ranking and, in SEO term, there was some shelf life. I think in geo term, that shelf life has significantly reduced. So what is your observation on that?
Yeah, that's a valid question, Alok, and a very interesting question. We typically charge a big consulting fees to answer that, but yeah, you're my friend, so we're doing it pro bono. So just kidding. So basically, what happens is the shelf life you are saying is probably lower. But one thing we have realized, if you fix the fundamentals, you're not going to go away. Okay. You will always appear in relevant rankings. And it is, at least in the geo world, it is very difficult to fake for a longer time. So that means if you are let's say you are a good healthcare provider and you have a lot of good value adding content about your services on your site, and you optimize it for all the valuable user content for once and forever, because user intent is similar. As even Jeff Bezos said when they were building Amazon, everything will change with time, but two things are very fundamental. He said that in 1995, that even 10 years and 15 years from now, everybody will want to get the fastest, will want to get the cheapest possible product and best possible quality in fastest possible time, right? Across the globe. And these were the fundamentals they built their brand on. Similarly, the parameters I am showing and geo, these are the fundamental components. Any search engine, any competitor, whatever you do, at least these fundamentals ensure that you are not going away anywhere and you are optimized to be discovered. Having said that, yes, there could be some ups and downs in terms of traffic and ranking, just like SEO is there and shelf life is lower. But honestly, when I see, I guess at least for next 2 3 years, it's very difficult. It's difficult for every brand. So there can be an arbitrage, right? There can be an arbitrage. Maybe things stabilize after that, but next 2 3 years and maybe past 1 year, it has been a lot of there has been a lot of volatility. But within this volatility, there's also a lot of opportunity for smart brands to come up at top and be there for a good enough amount of shelf life, good enough amount of time. And that's where I was telling you that I gave an example of an insurance marketplace and a BFSI products marketplace. I'll give you another example which we worked very recently on. So they were a physiotherapy brand in Bangalore and they were a startup. And they just fixed their fundamentals and they were ranking at par with the Practo and Justile when you ask any search engine and any GPT, when you ask any GPT or DeepSeek or even Meta's WhatsApp bot. So this is because they optimize for their niche. And again, riches is in the niches, even in the AI world. For a particular niche, you can rank better than the marketplace. That is also an advantage for a particular OEM or brand to be better because depth is rewarded over here much more than backlinks and other authority sites. So that means that it will be difficult for a brand to do a lot of PR and come up to the top. But at the same time, if they work on organic content, they work on depth, they work on adding a lot of context and structure to their site, the results are much better, faster, and quicker. And the other person also has to do the same thing to take away the limelight from them. But again, there will be some niches where you can have a real value added for yourself. And that is the entire strategy which the marketing leaders and people like us work with them to figure out their niche where nobody can beat them. For example, the physiotherapy brand I was telling you, they were ranking better than Practo and Justile. And for a Practo and Justile, but in Google, they'll never do so. Right? They'll drive a lot of their traffic from Practo or Justile in the Google world. But in the GPT world, because their niche is physiotherapy, so physiotherapy in Bangalore is something where we definitely want to be covered. And they have a lot of, and this is direct search. Then there are a lot of other prompts which are indirect. We also have a tracker built in where the most searched prompts for your niche, it tells you, and then it tells you your visibility over there, and then it tells you how to optimize for that. That is the next and final part of GeoMax, which we have. So, which we'll also show you, which we have built. And the best thing is, Alok and other folks, that this thing is very autonomous and agentic for us. Why agentic AI? Because AI is changing very fast, but we have built an AI tool which is always in tune with the changing market trends, and it picks up the information, the latest information, and does the work for you so that you don't have to keep doing and keep tracking every single day. It just sends you a mail in your inbox that these are the issues which you need to look at. That's it. Okay. Any questions? Thank you, Alok, for the wonderful question. Any questions, anyone? Or we move to the remaining 3 components? Or is it getting too technical, too boring? You can also tell me that. We can switch to maybe the interrupting component. Okay, is everybody there? Is everybody awake? Sure. I'm feeling like a old school professor. Don't want to get that feeling. But yeah. Sure. Shall we move forward quickly to the other components, other three components of the GeoBot? We'll cover first, maybe GeoBot itself. Yeah. The third one is monosemanticity, which means that there should be non-ambiguous content on your site. Assesses the clarity and specificity of your language. High scores indicate content that avoids ambiguity and is interpreted consistently by LLMs, making it more favorable for ranking in generative responses. So let's say your page, your blog, your article, your content, if that is non-ambiguous and non-distractive, basically it is very, very focused and talking about one particular thing. So chances of it getting ranked are higher because you're not confusing the bot, right? You say what you say and you have a lot of detail around that. You just don't randomly stuff keywords. So that also means that randomly stuffing trending keywords can lead to negative marks in the geo world. Probably can help you in the SEO world, but in the geo world, it leads to negative marking. Another simple example is, not diverging from your core topic. For example, if you are a telecom site, but writing a lot about travel, tourism, and all that stuff, or getting backlinks from that kind of site can also hurt your monosemanticity. Got it? So maybe I'll give you practical tips more than the scientific definitions, the practical tips. As I said, that monosemanticity means talking about your needs, sticking to your product, and not having content which is not relevant to your site. Fourth one is structured data markup score. So there is JSON LD format in which you can put up your website's various assets like ebooks, PDFs, images, videos, and all those paragraphs on your site, which will be parsed by LLMs and easily understood because they understand JSON language much better. And then they can include your even if not the entire site, but some components they can individually index and include in their responses when they are framing the answers for user queries or when they're doing their internal RAG. They can pick up your structured data from over there. Yeah. So structured data markup score, fourth component of Geo. And the final component is contextual relevance, NER based. Evaluates how contextually relevant each named entity is across your page. Factors include internal linking, surrounding text clarity, and discoverability via external references or topical consistency. So contextual relevance, which is the most toughest one to measure, is number one, number two, and a lot of other parameters combined. So basically, if you have good keywords on your site, number one will be good. You have good internal linking on your site, number two will be good. You will have known ambiguity on your site, number three will be good. You have structured data which is optimized for LLMs and AI crawlers, number four will be good. And this number fifth component is the one which is actually measuring context, the quality of text you have on your site, the uniqueness of text, the topical consistency of the text. So all those terms are covered over here, and our tool also measures that. Then finally, this is also a major component. And combining these five components, we call it a MECE framework, mutually exclusive, collectively exhaustive, which actually tells you the current status of your page, your site, or your content. And this diagnostics can be done multiple times at a certain frequency. And eventually, a lot of strategies can be formed after that. Just as you look at SEO tools to check where you are ranking in the technical SEO and page-off-page SEO in terms of traffic and all that stuff. Similarly, this is the geo equivalent for that. So this is, we think this is one of our, we are proud that this is one of our innovations which is working, and by working with more than 25-30 brands in India and 100 plus brands globally and solving their issues basis these five parameters, this framework we have told, we are getting even more and more confidence on this framework. This may not be the only framework, of course, but collectively it covers everything for a brand, for a content piece to be covered in AI results, AI search, AI visibility, and eventually increase brand presence, brand awareness, brand visibility, and traffic. So these has been, and I guess I gave you two examples, the dog food one, the dog food website, if you want to make pre-Gen AI world versus today, what will be different in terms of content and optimization. And second one, I had told about a BFSI major marketplace for insurance policies and all, how they were good in Google but not good in AI, and what fixing their cosine vicinity, internal linking, and putting unique content across pages help them improve their geo rankings. There's another one which we told that a physiotherapy startup based in Bangalore, they were able to rank against big tech majors of their field, right? Or marketplaces of their field, just by optimizing for their niche and having a lot of structured data on their site, monosemantic and structured data. And then, having a lot of details about the topics we are mentioning, thought leadership content on your site gives you positive marks, whereas the backlinks, irrelevant backlinks, and keyword stuffing can give you negative marks, which used to work in the past world. These kind of things are not working. So these have been a couple of our insights, and we are also still learning, working almost every week. We're working with 5 to 6 new brands and trying to improve with this tool, plus with our strategies, trying to improve their visibility, their branding all across. Yeah. Sanjay, Sharat, Rebi, Alok, any questions so far before we move to the final topic?
All good.
Good. Thank you. Mohit, can you move to the tracker? Finally, how we get the visibility. Yeah, probably you can show that. So this is after the diagnostics and all, we have a tracker to check the visibility of thousands of prompts which are getting searched in your niche, and where your brand is ranking, where your competitors are ranking across various LLMs. That kind of tracking is also possible on a daily basis. So this is another tool which we have built, where you just tell your brand name, your niche and all, as you see on the website, as you see in the demo here, and it gives you a analysis of, so once you tell your brand name and all, so it shows couple of prompts which are relevant for your brand where you should rank, and these kind of prompts are being searched by the users. You can modify your prompts as well, but these are the prompts our tool IC Pluto simulates and figures out that for your brand, these are the top prompts which people are searching for. And then it does simulations by sending thousands of these requests in a single minute. Thousands of these requests in a single minute, it sends to the LLMs. All the top LLMs we've integrated with ChatGPT, Claude, DeepSeek, Perplexity, Bing Copilot. And on all these prompts which are most relevant in your industry, it creates a report for your brand. Where do you rank? If you just see the report, so week-wise visibility also it shows, and it also shows you your average rank and mentions which are happening on these kind of prompts through live simulations. So if you go there, you will have a competitor-wise performance as well, and you'll also have AI model-wise performance. So this is the kind of dashboard you see. So how you're ranking on OpenAI, this visibility, how you are ranking in Anthropic, how you are ranking on Google's AI overviews, and this happens live through our agentic mode, how you are ranking in Perplexity, what are the kind of prompts where you are performing in top level, where your competitors are performing, and then you can add custom prompts as well. But the AI model itself simulates and creates the right kind of prompt, and on the back end, it is integrated with all these AI tools to figure out where your brand is getting visible. So for example, Nike has having a visibility of 91.7, and then Adidas, Under Armour, Puma, and ASICS. Right. So these are the brands which are happening in a particular week, month, and all, where the mention, your brand mention is happening across LLM tools. That is the kind of tracker, visibility tracker, which we have built, which again we claim and we believe is one of very unique ones. So this is again the second innovation. The first one was science, which we were showing you all the 5 parameters on which the search ranks and how to improve that comes from that geobot. Then this is our tracker, which tells you that where you are, what is your ground reality, and how it is improving. So combined with that diagnostic and optimization tool and this tracker, I guess it gives a holistic view to all the brands that where they are and what they need to improve to go ahead. Alok, when you were there last time, I guess this tool was not ready. This has been built after that. So I
No,
guess
it's
this is also,
fantastic. It's
yeah,
fantastic.
yeah.
Of course, it wasn't ready back then.
And kudos to you because I guess you asked for a feature like this, and then our team started working on that. So a special mention to you as well, and a couple of other folks who asked right questions to us. So we built it.
Very nice. Congrats.
Thank you. So yeah, and again, as I said, we work with brands. It's improving on a day-by-day basis, but this is the kind of complete details you can get on a daily, weekly, monthly basis. And optimization happens on that basis, that scientific parameter which we showed. And then there are a couple of human layer involved from our side, which work to improve a brand's this thing. And having said that, it's not that only we can do it. The insights are fundamental. The insights, we would love to partner with brands to do that, but these insights are universal and fundamental. That's why we did this kind of webinar, and we want to keep doing such kind of talks on various such parameters to together build the future of marketing and probably build a SEMrush from India this time, a unicorn in marketing from India, if everything goes well, because we believe now India can build this world, this product for the future, where people sitting in UK and Europe and Ukraine and Russia and China and Japan and US and South America, they should use our products to figure out what where they could get their AI visibility. That is one of the mission with which Pluto is launched and Pluto is growing. So we say that we want to bring Pluto to back to life again. So Pluto was a dwarf planet, but Pluto goes its own way, and that's where we named the brand, we named the model after Pluto, because marketing, first of all, is that thing that it's no specific rule or format, and marketers have to be different. Their approach has to be different, and that's how Pluto also tries to be different, to figure out the real problems and solve it for brands. So, okay, moving to, so this has been majorly, what we have been working on with brands and what kind of results and successes we have got in geo optimization. And automatically our tool optimizes for SEO as well, geo as well. And we're adding a lot more features, a lot more insights, even the keyword suggestions and all in the geo world. That is also under track. Meanwhile, this particular webinar was for Geo, generative engine optimization, but Pluto is an entire marketing universe, which has a lot of agents. It's a mixture of 9 agents, which work for different use cases. And collectively, we call that we are trying to build the CMO's co-pilot, or the world's first AI CMO who understand every nuance of marketing and can act as CMO's co-pilot. So we'd love to get feedbacks, insights, and all the people who are in there will love to give you some free credits for you to try the tool, or give you some insights, sample reports, and all that stuff, so that we together can build the future of marketing, as I was saying. And other agents, if I talk very briefly, which probably will cover in the next webinars along with their expertise. So we have IC Lingo. Quickly, Modit, if you can take through. IC Lingo is our translation and localization engine, where you can upload any PDF, any file, any document piece, and get it translated in any language, all vernacular languages as well as foreign languages as well. So a lot of BFSI players, a lot of healthcare, legal, these kind of players are using this, and it is optimized industry specific, it is optimized. For example, when we talk of BFSI, it is optimized and fine-tuned for SEBI, IRDAI, and RBI guidelines. And the content it translates, it also flags that is it regulated or not. If there is any issue, it passes it to the human layer as well, human in the loop. Otherwise, it keeps giving you the content. Another thing is it gives you a formatted document. So let's say if you have a brochure, you have PDF, you have OCR scanned file, you want to translate it. That is another use case. So we work with a university to do OCR of a lot of their circulars, a central university in India, to do an OCR of a lot of their circulars which are printed in a physical mode and then translate it into multiple languages like Marathi, Kannada, Telugu, and all that stuff in real time and circulate it across all the departments. So that has been one of the use cases. That is Lingo for us. Again, our proprietary AI model for language translation. Then we have Quill. Quill is our content strategy and AI content writer. So it again, creates content. So geo and SEO was more for strategy and diagnostics. Then Quill is the one which actually tells you few keywords and all which your brand should write on, and then it finds the sources, then starts writing content, iterates till the content becomes better and better, humanizes the AI writing content, finally gives you a 90 to 95% accurate piece, and also tells you various sources from where it has picked up the data and top 20 brands which are ranking for that particular niche. That is the kind of thing that shows you what we are also seeing on the screen. Modit, if you can jump to that part where it also gives you a heading structure and H1, H2 and all that stuff, a content strategy which Quill does. Just jump to that part where it generates the content strategy. Sure. And I guess it'll take yeah. So this is the kind of dashboard it gives you, and it tells you whatever articles you are writing, is it SEO optimized, geo optimized, and what are the top 20 search results, and basis that what are the headings and keywords you should choose for you to rank better for both SEO and geo. So taking inputs from SEO Max and Geo Max, iSQL works on creating the right kind of content, headings, and content structure for you as you see on the screen. Right, to write a topic on generative AI in healthcare, what kind of headings it suggested, what kind of sources, what are top ranking, like USA government article, Deloitte article. It is telling that these all are ranking in top, and this is their structure, and basis the competitor structure, it is giving you your structure and your headings by keyword. So majorly people are using it for content strategy. Again, in one of the next few webinars, and we will cover in more detail how with AI you can redefine your content strategy and all. And then quickly, if you want to go back to Lunar, Lunar is our video creation model where you can actually generate, translate, or modify human created videos. Like this is my own video translated into Spanish, or you can entirely create an AI model video in Spanish, Portuguese, Tamil, Telugu, Marathi, Kannada, more than 45 languages, Indian and international. You can create entirely these kind of videos. And this is majorly about Pluto plus a lot of new agents we're trying to build. Eventually, Geo, coming back to the Geo. So Geo is one of our initiatives to help brands redefine their presence in the AI world, doing a lot of experiments, doing a lot of problem solving, and very, very excited about this. And that's where we wanted to share the framework we have discovered with all of you. And I guess we can move towards the ending of the session. And probably for the next 3, 4, 5 minutes, if we have any questions, we can take up. Otherwise, would love to stay connected and probably meet you soon. Yeah.
This is awesome. I didn't know, Harneet. You've been, your team has been doing such hard work behind the scene. So very good to see that. This is legit. tough competition to, it's going to give legit tough competition to SEMrush and, Moz and so many other platforms out there.
Yeah, thank you. Thanks a lot, Alok. And would love to get your insight maybe here or even offline as well to connect. I guess our connect is also pending, so we shall do that definitely and figure out possibilities of what we can do together with this tool as well.
Absolutely, absolutely. Just a quick question though.
Hmm.
How do you top up your services on top of it? Like, you have now a self-serve tool ready, which is, a AI tool. My question
Yeah.
is, this should, I mean, of course, you wouldn't want this to alienate your agency business. So how do you
Hmm.
see that can complement?
Yeah, so how we do it is because this tool is also a little bit complex to run. There's a learning curve. So we offer along with the tool subscription, we offer one or two of our team members to be there as an account manager with the person. And the iSQL you see, the writer, we don't recommend using entirely AI generated content. So we use our human writers over there. Similarly for the keyword strategy and all as well. So it's an AI assisted thing. Either we train the teams of our clients and give this tool as self-serve, right? Or we give our people along with the tool. So it's like our people, you take the tool and you take our people as well. So and then it is an outcome for you. So the outcome is probably so many articles, so many content pieces, so much translation, so many videos, so much content strategy, whatever. So whatever outcome is there, some brands are directly, if they're using it for diagnostic, Alok, they typically take up the monthly subscription, right? They take up that. And if they are going for a more holistic thing, so we put our services as our people as well as the tool. So I guess both the ways, like I guess it's 50-50. There are half of our clients who are directly taking up the tool and using it for diagnostics and then continuing the way they were doing earlier. And then there are a couple of clients who are working with us holistically, using the tool, using our services, using the content. And that's where we're also able to compete with, make our clients compete with their competitors. And we are also able to better compete with the tool only company and the services only company.
Very
So that's,
interesting.
yeah.
All the best to you guys. I mean, of course, there's a lot of work which has definitely gone behind the scene.
You have seen the first version and now you've seen this version as well.
Yeah,
So you would be able to.
sea of change. I swear, I didn't realize that so much was going behind the scene.
Yeah.
Cool. Thank you so very much for this session. We'll connect again maybe later.
Sure. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right.
Thank
Take
you.
care.
Thank you,
Bye.
everyone. Bye.